And this question is really about the cuts. Well, you know, a lot of us didn't like the cuts. I mean, again, some people did, but I didn't, especially at the time when we're growing. So the good news earlier is what I alluded to, is we do have money this time, and how do we spend that money? How do we fund? There are lawsuits right now. There's really three big areas when you talk about school funding. One is that, first of all, the Constitution requires us to provide for an adequate education system. That's the word I think almost verbatim. Cindy, is that right? Adequate education system. What does that mean? I mean, does that mean, you know, do we just do the 3 R's? I was a band, baseball kind of guy. I could care less about English, and that showed up when I took freshman English in college. You know, math, you know, there's 3 kinds of people, those good at math and those who aren't. But I don't write that one down. Anyway, but what does the, you know, I mean, I like the extracurricular activities. I mean, my one son didn't, another son did, and a daughter, you know, and all of that. So, you know, how much are we, no one agrees to that. So that's the, are we adequately funding the system? Then the other part of the lawsuit is that, are we distributing the adequate or inadequate amount of money, if you will, equally among the school districts? And the answer to that's no. In fact, I tried to make some legislative changes to make it more equitable in my mind. I'm sure as this trial comes up that I'm going to be quoted, if not quoted, be there to testify about my bill. And then the other part is, are we are supposed to fund an adequate education system. How much of that, again, what I talked about earlier, is supposed to be property taxes, and how much, which should the percentage be of, you know, to do that? Are we giving the school districts enough to do an adequate education, the 3 R's, if you will, and then the property taxes with the stadiums? You know, Allen just did a $60 million stadium. A lot of folks, that makes my, I'm not criticizing them. My daughter lives in Allen. Our grandson is going to be born in November, probably part of that school district. You know, so I'm not knocking it, but a lot of people look at that and say they can build a $60 million stadium. They don't need more money, or they're perhaps getting too much money. But there's a lawsuit about adequacy and about equity. And then the other part of that is that, are we, as the state, giving the school board members what they call meaningful discretion? Meaning, are we tying their hands so much, either by how much we fund or how we fund it, the strings we tie to it, that they, as elected officials, and I was a school board member in Greenville, and I don't think I've done anything. I was mad at the legislature about the 90s, but are we giving them, as elected officials, enough room to run their schools as Texas has decided to do with independent school districts? So that's all part of this, and that we try to. The accountability. Educators want to be held accountable. When I was on the school board, and I used to teach, I always tell teachers, you think your classroom is loud, I used to teach drum corps. But good educators want to be held accountable for the work that they do. And are we being fair about it? I'm not sure we are. And all that, and that's a part of it too. And part of the accountability system, sirs, is that it costs districts more, you know, to report all that. But I think most of us realize that I was not happy with the amount of education that we cut. I thought we should have used more of the rainy day fund to lessen that a little bit. But I think we go in from a position of fiscal strength. I think we will now be able to look at what those cuts did, and in some places it was devastating. And there's no substitute for an experienced teacher. There's no substitute for experience. I mean, you know, even after medical school and residency, and I remember, you know, I'm a family doctor, I delivered babies, and that first night I was there delivering a baby thinking, I don't have anybody to back me up now. You know, in residency, all the attendings hanging around and things like that. You know, and you get scared. And anybody tells you they're not, it's lying. But I think same thing with a teacher. You know, my nieces, my brother's daughter's a teacher. That first day in the classroom, well, after a while, you get experience, you learn what works and what doesn't, you get some confidence in what you do, and I think it's a travesty if we let those kind of people go. And I also think it's a travesty that after they retire, that we aren't good stewards with their retirement system, and we haven't given the teachers a cost of living raise in 10 years. we've given them one extra check in that 10 years. So I also think we need to show some respect, because that retirement system, quite frankly, may be the carrot that gets people in teaching, or at least part of the package. So anyway, one question, and I was able to take that one 5 minutes to the end of my time. Listen, I'll be glad to talk with you on the phone or email you. I mean that, I really do. Linda will tell you, and Jeannie, that we keep records of everything that everybody contacts us about, and I really try to take that to the floor of the Senate. So thank you. I don't have an opponent. I'm very blessed with that, and can concentrate on the business for my district and for my state. And I'm very blessed to be in this position to do this. Again, Joe, thank you for your 20 years of service, and Cindy and Cindy and Ken, look forward to working with you in the next session. And I'm going to step out because I got to get back to see patients, because that $600 a month, my wife and my banker tell me that I need to go see some patients. Thank you. God bless you.